Hello and welcome back to Brooklyn Nets franchise here on NBA 2K25. In this episode, we're going to get through the month of November as well as take a look at the forwards or wings of the upcoming draft class. I hope it wasn't a problem. I noticed in the last episode while I was editing that the volume of player chatter might be a little loud, so I apologize if that was distracting. I think I fixed that in the settings, the sound settings here. So if that was a problem, I apologize. We obviously lost our first game of the year against the Atlanta Hawks. Trae Young got 50 points. Bogdanovich had 24. We shut down Risa Shea and DeAndre Hunter, but yeah, you can't let their best player go for 50. We had ourselves an okay game offensively, scoring 115. Not too bad, but the defense just has to be better. We'd also like to see a little bit better efficiency from Dennis Schroeder and Cam Thomas as well. Both need to be more efficient with the ball, although I do like what Cam Thomas has been doing as a playmaker. Without further ado, we are going to get into the prospects. In the first episode, we took a look at the guards. That includes Caden Banks, Vinnie Patterson. So because you didn't get to see, this is what Russell Frazier looks like, the 6'5 guard. And this is Elton Brewer, for those that were curious. And this would be Kirk Miles, Ciro Navarro, and Wayne Peeler. In this episode, we're going to be looking at the wings of the draft. So that would be shooting guards, small forwards, and even power forwards that have, small forward as their backup position. So starting off with the people listed as shooting guards, still going to consider them wings. They translate well to the 2 or the 3. Then we're going to start with Jonte Wright. Jonte Wright is definitely going to be a top 4 or 5 pick in this draft. So far, it looks like he's got a decent handle. This is what he looks like. He's a baller. He's a scorer. He's an athlete. Overall, the 18-year-old out of Gonzaga is definitely a threat to potentially be a dark horse for the number 1 overall pick. Obviously could work on his defending, but 6'7", you can't teach size, 7-foot wingspan. He's got the makings of a great defender, especially with the athleticism. This is what he's looking like, rocking 33 for no real particular reason. Not really paying homage to anybody, although shout out Larry Bird. Next player on the list is Brian Knight. The lottery would probably be his ceiling. Right now he's in the late first round, but boy, can this guy score the ball. I mean, just a great three-point shooter. He's a good defender, just prototypical 3-and-D guard. While his ceiling may not be high, the sophomore out of Georgetown definitely has something that he brings to the table, somewhere that a contender might be interested in picking him up. Rocking the number 17, he's definitely got aura. Another guy we could see maybe going in the first round, he'd probably be at the back end, but Clyde Collier, 6'6 guard out of Mississippi. He's got good defensive abilities, an athlete for sure. Not going to be a great off-the-bat player, but if you want to, pick somebody as a developmental project, Clyde Collier is definitely that type of guy. Next, looking at the small forwards, there are quite a few that could be going in the lottery here, about 6 of them to be exact. Very versatile players, as we see Des Gabriel's archetype is a versatile defender. He is a great athlete. He's obviously a really good defender. He's got good size. The freshman out of Indiana is definitely someone that's going to try and climb into the top 5. A real good player, but someone that if we didn't, make it all the way up into the top of the lottery, someone that we know could potentially fall, maybe even to pick 10. Great overall player. Ceiling is questionable, but he's got all the makings of an NBA great. And again, for those who were curious, these are the accessories. Dash Mitchell definitely translates to the guard position. He's 6'7" from Oklahoma State. He's got all of the skills you need. He's got a decent ability to play make, great defender, good athlete. He's got a 3-ball. Definitely someone who is going to start out more of a role player role, but someone who has the ceiling to carry an offense. That's why he's projected top 8 to 5 pick. This is definitely one of my favorite prospects. I do make all of them, so I know to a degree what their attributes are going to look like, but I do have the generate storylines on, and I just do that so that it isn't like I know exactly which players have high potential and lower potential. It all kind of gets randomized at the end of the day. When you want to talk about a prototypical wing, Cliff Perry is the name that comes to mind. A great 3-and-D guy, good athlete, good defender. He can shoot the three ball, good catch and shoot player. Again, potential is where a lot of these guys are going to rise and fall. It's where do we look at their ceiling at? Like, where do we think they're going to go? Right now, Cliff Perry is a projected top 10 pick. Definitely going to stay in the lottery for sure. Definitely if a team that's looking to try and contend, someone that, like the Atlanta Hawks who need these type of 3-and-D guys, he could play great on a team that's trying to achieve. Debo Moore Jr., another lottery projected player, late lottery projection right now, but he has all the potential to climb. I mean, he's a great inside scorer out of USC. He's a certified bucket. Not really a playmaker, but he's an athlete, and he can score the ball. He definitely has some work to do on the defensive end, but 6'8", 215, and with that 7'1" wingspan, you definitely can say that he has defensive potential. As you can see, Debo Moore looks like that. And I think he's going to be a great prospect in this upcoming draft. Next up, we have Shep Pickett, the 6'7" guard out of Indiana. He does shoot that three ball well, but he does play great defense. He hustles on that end. He's a good athlete, but he doesn't have, all three levels of scoring. His playmaking has upside, but I wouldn't say that's something that you want him to be like a secondary or primary ball handler for. He's a very skilled player, but I do think he's probably going to be at the back of the lottery. And this is what he is looking like, if you were curious. Next, we're going to talk about Jack Ayers, the 6'7" guard at Kansas. Very well-rounded scorer, can really give you a bucket on any level. He's also a good athlete. He's got the physical tools. He's just got to put it all together. He's not a great playmaker, not a great defender, the drill here. But he does come in with a pretty well-rounded skill set that's pretty moldable. Definitely someone you would take a chance on, and someone that if they fall out of the lottery, you're getting a great value for. And then we're going to look at these three. These are all people that could be fringe late first round picks. We're going to start with Ulrich Svensson. This is a guy who has a pretty raw skill set. He's a Swedish prospect. He does have good skill, good upside. He's a good catch-and-shoot guy. He does play, high-effort defense. He's a pretty solid athlete, definitely sneaky athletic. Not somebody that I could see sneaking into the lottery, although I do think that he is worth a shot in the late first round. Lance Parks is also a prospect out of UConn, very well-rounded. Definitely someone I could see sneaking his way into the first round if he has a good freshman year there. Definitely someone that might stick around at UConn. We'll have to see there. Definitely depends if he is going to get drafted in the first round or not. But, yeah, I think he is definitely somebody that you want at the end of the bench just to come in and give you hard effort minutes. He's a hustler. That's kind of what he does, but he's not really bad at anything, but he's not really good at anything either. Nothing that catches your eye, but at the same time, not a player that you want to go up against. And this is a very polarizing guy, Ade Kobo. The Nigerian prospect is a athlete. He has all the physical tools, 6'9", 225. He's a big, solid player. He's got the inside scoring and the athleticism. It's just really about the rest of his game, kind of needing that extra polish. But he's got all the physical tools, and there's no reason why he can't put it together. And here's a look at Lance Parks, as I forgot to show his accessories as well. And Ulrich Svensson, if you were curious. Next, we're looking at probably the most polarizing player in the class. I don't know how he's only slated at pick 10 right now. Like, this is a guy you could get in the back end of the lottery. Is kind of crazy. But Kenny Foster Jr., 7 foot tall, out of Georgia. Really polished offensive player. Obviously, you want to see these skills continue to improve, but he is a wing, kind of look like a Kevin Durant type of build. Good defender, good athlete, good rebounder. He's got room to grow for sure. He's not a fully developed player, but this is a guy wearing 7 in honor of Kevin Durant that could be the best player out of this draft. Certainly a boomer bust prospect, but with that size and that athleticism, I think you always got to take that shot. Another fringe first rounder, we've got Wink Ruffin. Not too polished of a player, a pretty raw prospect, but he's got good size, and sometimes you just got to take a shot on a guy like that. And this is what he's looking like. He's got a very interesting tattoo and wrist tape. Definitely one of my more interesting players that I created. But yeah, he'll be interesting to see what his career turns into. Steve Pickett, another prospect, could sneak into the first round. Again, pretty raw skill set, pretty raw ability, but at the end of the day, these are the types of guys at the end of the first round, maybe you take a flyer on. Maybe you like the size. Maybe you like the upside. I have been battling with a cold, so if at any point in this, I don't say the right thing, I'm just all hopped on Dayquil, so trying my hardest. But that is going to be it for all of the wings. The bigs we'll probably do either in the next episode or the episode after. For now, let's shift our focus to this upcoming week here. We're going to simulate through this Detroit Pistons game and kind of recap as we go 2 and 4 on this stretch. First, we play the Magic, which we actually win this game. Wagner has a rough night. As on our end, Cam Thomas is much more efficient, which we said we needed. Schroeder was not more efficient in any way, shape, or form, but the team gets the dub, plays good defense. We lose 2-1 to Milwaukee. Cam Thomas is not efficient in this one whatsoever. Neither is Schroeder. Pretty rough defense from the Bucks, who kind of just get whatever they want. Same thing for the Nuggets. Not a great game for really anybody. I guess Schroeder had an okay night. Yeah, I mean, when you let Murray and Jokic do stuff like that to you, you're never going to win that one. We do squeak out a close one versus Memphis thanks to Cam Thomas putting up 31 points. Watford had some really impactful minutes off the bench. Definitely someone we might consider giving more minutes to. We lose a close one to the Bulls, which is very unfortunate. The guys tried hard, but at the end of the day, you let Josh Giddey score 25. You're not going to win a lot of games. Finally, looking at the Pistons matchup, we obviously don't do great. It looks like a defensive battle here. Watford did not have such a great game, and really they just grinded out a tough win. Without Cade, by the way, or Jaden Ivey, I guess, by the looks of it. Looks like they were both hurt, so that's interesting. And I have decided which game we're going to play. It's going to be this game against the Knicks on November 15th. We're going to now sim to this game as we lose to Memphis. No, we beat Memphis, and we lose a whole bunch in a row. We go on a 4-game losing streak. Apparently, Memphis is the only team we can beat as Bojan Bogdanovic just goes off. Almost a 30 ball for him as we blow them out. But a loss to the Celtics looks pretty normal there in spite of Cam Thomas going for near 40. That's a rough, wasted performance. We get absolutely shut down versus Cleveland. That makes sense. No real scoring outside of these three. And we fall to the Pelicans. Pretty good team effort there. Not so much for us. And we lose to the Celtics again despite a great effort from Dennis Schroeder. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Kristaps Porzingis. Although Porzingis should not be back yet, so oops. That is going to bring us to our matchup against the Knicks, who are rolling out an interesting starting lineup. I think they're going to start Mitchell Robinson at the 5, it looks like, instead of having Josh Hart at the 4 with Towns at the 5. Whatever they run, they're a very talented team. Bench is definitely suspect, but starting 5 is a problem. Coming in this game at 3-9, our season really needs to turn around. Looking at our team stats, Cam Thomas needs to be more efficient and a little bit better of a passer. 4 assists is an improvement for sure. Like to see that growth, but the efficiency scoring, or lack thereof, is very concerning. We do have occasional people like Bogdanovic and Johnson that step up here and there, but you just need to see more consistency scoring the ball. That's our biggest issue right now. Gonna tweak the rotation just a little bit. I think guys like Watford have earned more minutes. Sharp isn't doing anything bad. We're gonna just have the rebuild rotation here. This feels like a better rotation. We've tweaked that. And now let's get into this game against the Knicks. First game for us in group play. Definitely a rivalry game. We're going to want to take this one seriously as we lose the tip. They are starting Mitchell Robinson, which means Karl Anthony Towns has Cam Johnson on him all game, and that does not feel like that's going to be a great matchup. I will say we have our own mismatch that we can try and execute on. Towns guarding Johnson. He may not be quick enough. Although right now that doesn't seem to be a problem, and we turn it over. Mikal Bridges running the break and gets the layup. Cam Johnson's step back three is green. Wow. Of all the shots that I was expecting to go in, that was definitely not one of them, but we will take it. Can't leave him open. We give up the open three to OG. All right, Schroeder and Claxton playing the two-man game. Throw that up, and that's a perfectly timed alley-oop. Brunson now at the top. Handles, tries to get by Schroeder, swings to Towns. Towns drives inside, uses his size, and gets the layup. Schroeder and Claxton, two-man game, and Schroeder gets the layup to go. Brunson around the screen, sinks the two. Brunson really is dangerous. He can score from all levels. As we're going to take that screen, somebody's got to be open somewhere, right? I guess not. And Bridges reads the pass again, takes it all the way, and slams it down. We cannot afford to be turning the ball over like this. We're going to get those 2 points right back. Cam Thomas gets the great screen and flushes it home. Got to lock in on D. Got to play better effort-wise on that end so far. It's been a rough one. Robinson back out to Brunson. Around the Anunoby screen. Gets inside and gets the two. Thomas with Brunson on him. Got to go inside, and the layup won't fall. Bridges driving on Schroeder. Cannot get the rebound. Anunoby holding. Finds Brunson, who gets open, but cannot hit the three. For whatever reason, they leave Bogey open, and we cash in on the three. Bridges in the corner. Thomas guarding him. Anunoby trying to get it to Towns, who sticks the three. So they answer right back with a three of their own. Back to a 6-point game. Schroeder and Claxton playing the two-man game. And Claxton gets the alley-oop poster. Big man lineup by the Knicks isn't enough. And Claxton goes up and slams it. Still a close one here in the first. Gotta start guarding. Thomas guarding Bridges. The former teammate goes up, and Bridges gets the best of us. Gotta play into this. This is a rivalry now. We gotta try and get something going here. Cam Johnson is gonna slam it home. Gets a free lane to the bucket, and he puts some emphasis on it. Nets hanging around in this game. Not really taking a lead. Towns can't get it to go. Tries to find him. Bites on the pump fake, and Johnson gets all the way to the hole. Makes it a one-score game. Efficient offense being played out here. Nets only missed one shot. Knicks have only missed 3 so far. We're definitely in for a high-scoring game by the looks of it right now, but Brunson makes a move and sticks the mid-range. Thomas trying to get the shot off, just shooks it up, and it will not go. Schroeder backpedaling. Oh, man, they just throw that lob right up there, and Robinson goes and gets it. We're going to call our first timeout of the game. Maybe get some subs in. Cam Johnson's going to go to the bench. We're going to put in Dorian Finney-Smith. See what he can do. We definitely need that catch-and-shoot floor spacing. I like Watford, but we're going to try and throw the lob, and Finney-Smith goes and catches it. Same animation that we got with Claxton, and Cat gets put on the poster. Screen from Robinson coming. Brunson clears some space, puts up the three, and Robinson tips it back in. Thomas around the screen. Finney-Smith drives on Cat, and they swing to the corner, but Schroeder not in the right spot. They get the steal, and now they're trying to push. Brunson driving on Schroeder, feeds inside, swings out to Towns. They reset. Towns puts up the three, well defended. Robinson comes and gets the offensive board. Back out Hart's three won't go. They swing to Brunson. They back to Hart. Trying to back down Schroeder. Creates some space. Puts up the three. And it's no good. Although we have an interesting matchup here. And Bogey fades away. Got him in the air. Makes him pay on the fadeaway midi. Schroeder slowing down Brunson. Brunson feeds Cat inside. Too small. Schroeder and Finney-Smith running the pick and pop. Finney-Smith wide open for three. Won't go. Claxton guarding Bridges. They try and go inside. Won't go. Thomas for three. That's no good. And Bridges on the break gets the slam. Thomas trying on Bridges. Former teammates going back and forth. Thomas saying this is his team now, and he puts up the midi and it won't go. Thomas on Robinson is definitely a mismatch. Robinson misses it, and Claxton comes to recover. Robinson gets his own rebound again, back out to Hart. Hart swings to Towns, who puts up the three. It won't go. Oh, Schroeder almost clears that. Bridges for three in the corner, won't go. Hart guarding Thomas now. Everybody getting a turn on New York to play some defense. Thomas with the fadeaway. Can't get it to go either. Oh, wow. Claxton just rejects that one. Hart had no chance, and Brunson pulls the three. To end the quarter almost, we're going to call the timeout. Pretty much the full bench lineup in. We got Zaire Williams, Watford at the 4, Clowney in there, and we've got Simmons and Johnson. Williams is an interesting player on this team. I don't think I gave him much run in the first game. I don't really love what I'm seeing from Johnson, so I want to give Zaire Williams some minutes, especially if we play Simmons at the guard position. But through one, 22-33, not the score you're looking for. They definitely pulled away towards the end of the quarter, just really having trouble keeping up with their pace, scoring the basketball. But on this first possession, we're going to try and set the tone. Ben Simmons out here is a walking mismatch, especially at the position that we have him, which would be the point guard. He is going to get inside, but we're going to throw that up, and Clowney put some extra stuff on that. Look at that one again one more time. That windmill. That's pretty. Under the screen. But nice find by Bridges to Achua. Inside, Clowney just needs to play that better. Simmons and Wofford now throwing up another lob, and Wofford comes down with it. Trendon Wofford is definitely one of my favorite players on this team, I'll tell you that. He can fly. Puts McBride on the poster. Clowney again getting dominated offensively by Achua. Gotta see better defense from Clowney, especially if he wants to, earn a spot in the rotation. Bad find inside. Thought I saw something in there. But yeah, we're going to let Bridges. Simmons around another screen, throwing up the lob. Goes out of bounds. Knicks ball. I knew it was going to be a tough test for us. I didn't think that the Knicks were going to give us this much trouble. Definitely this is the part of the game where we got to figure it out on the fly, as we're just getting torched inside. That's another bucket given up by Clowney. His defense has not been what it needs to be. Watford now trying to punish Josh Hart. And the layup just won't go. Hart played good defense, and he's trying to push on the break. We find Anunoby wide open, and the three is good. I will admit the lineups probably are not what you want them to be, as Simmons is going to drive inside and get the two to go. I didn't really put the scoring as balanced out as it needed to be. I just kind of got happy with all of our guys out there, but next time I got to... Oh, my God. Anunoby just dunks on Simmons. I don't even know how that's a foul, but, yeah. The way this game's going, best to just try and ride it out. Simmons and Clowney. Oh, wow. Clowney just skies for that one. Simmons places it right there, and he just goes and slams it. I will say we do have some pretty fun buckets. Even if the team kind of stinks, we get our highlights in, I'll tell you that. We're a fun team to watch. As Watford plays great defense on Hart. Simmons out in transition, trying to find somebody. Johnson trying to get around McBride. Does for the moment, but the layup falls out. Hart goes for the midi on the break again, and he sticks it. Clowney gets some space. Good find by Zaire Williams. Clowney able to slam it down. Chua not known for his defense, that's for sure. Knicks are separating themselves right now, just plain and simple. 17-point lead. Looking to make it bigger as McBride kicks to Anunoby. Around the screen, Anunoby drives inside, slings it to Achua, who puts it up. No effort, no real contest from Clowney, and sticks the layup. Rough play. Didn't mean for that to get turned over like that. And Anunoby drives inside, almost gets the layup to go. Clowney with the foul. Interesting here. Gonna throw that up, and Wofford with another lob. It's Lob City here in Brooklyn. Anunoby finds McBride, who Slings to Towns, guarded by Clowney. Clowney plays decent defense. Towns able to get the board. Clowney fell to the ground, didn't get back up. Towns able to put it back up and in. Interesting, we find Johnson. Keon Johnson sticks the three. Johnson on the other end, around the screen, trying to guard Bridges. Stays with him pretty well for the most part. Bridges fights inside, though, and asserts his dominance for two. Another open lane, and another slam for Wofford. Need to cut into it a little bit. Josh Hart trying to create space. Bridges open, three, bang. Good screen there. Towns blocks Simmons. Wow, what a play. Karl Anthony Towns with the rejection. They find Bridges, long two, rattles in. We're definitely calling a timeout there. Got to at this point in the game. Not all the starters, but most of the starters coming back in. Thomas and Bogdanovich still on the bench, but Schroeder and Cam Johnson pick and roll. They're going to leave Zaire, and he can't hit it. Who's on the glass, though? Schroeder gets a crucial offensive rebound, and Cam Johnson loses it out of bounds. Already losing this game pretty bad, but it's about to get a whole lot worse if we let it get that bad. Hart around a whole bunch of screens, kicks to Brunson. Brunson settles it down, tries to make some moves on Schroeder, eventually gets by him, but Claxton with a great play. Oh, legal screen by Williams. That is rough. Another Nets turnover leads to a Knicks possession. Probably will lead to a Knicks score, too, as Brunson will not be denied. Schroeder can't do anything to get in his way. Schroeder, Claxton, pick and roll now. Going to throw that up. Not much you're going to do there as Jalen Brunson. Claxton's going to get that pretty easily. Bride swings to Anunoby, guarded by Williams. Zaire trying to make a play, goes back to McBride, into the post to Towns. Towns being guarded by Claxton. Claxton two hands up, and Towns can't get it to go. Schroeder at the top. Goes all the way to the cup, and just can't get the layup to go. Brunson drives right by him, steps back, and gives him the midi. New York just cannot miss right now. They are all on a heater. Keon Johnson, screened by Cam Johnson. He picks up the dribble. Ball gets swatted away. I mean, this is just awful. We're unraveling right now. Although Schroeder makes a great play there and forces another Brunson miss. Zaire getting a free lane to the bucket, and he gets a layup to go. Leads at 22. Not where you want it. We're going to have to get a lot of stops. Not a great idea giving Brunson that layup. Hart on the break, going to get the slam. Great. Keon Johnson around the other Johnson screen. Swings to Thompson. Johnson driving on Hart. Trying to do some bully ball. Use his size, get in there. And Josh Hart plays great defense. Johnson can't get it to go. Hart guarded by Claxton. They're going to switch this. Wow, we're really not going to switch it, huh? And Towns able to get inside. Thought that would have made sense for the auto switch. AI didn't know what I was doing, I guess. Okay. We're just going to feed that inside for Claxton. I don't know what's going on there. Anunoby around the screen. Towns left open. No real contest, and Towns puts it in. Knicks have 72 points here in the first half. Not exactly what you want to do to try and set the tone by any means. Give it out to Johnson. That three's off. Is that going to be a charge, though? Nice. Before Zaire gets subbed out, he makes a great play, draws the charge. Really needed it today. Trying to make something happen. Bridges playing great defense. We're going to have to put something crazy up, and yeah, it doesn't go. Interesting pick play run there. Thomas trying to make something happen. Running out of time again. Fades away, and he puts it in. Brunson gets some space, wants to give it to Towns instead, who drills it. Makes it a 30-point halftime lead. We're going to get one last shot at it. Cam Thomas doesn't get it off in time. 77-47 the score. Not a great half offensively for the Nets. And the Knicks, it is a polar opposite game. Towns already up to 19, hitting from all areas of the floor. Bridges having an efficient game. Brunson doing his thing. Anunoby and Achua have taken 7 shots combined, missed none of them. Josh Hart's been doing Josh Hart things. On our side of the ball, it's a pretty sped game. Thomas has not been super efficient. Neither has Schroeder. It's very unfortunate, but they're playing great defense on Cam, and only so much he can do. All right, here we are kicking off the third quarter. Starters all out there. Not for long, though. Bogdan wide open. Good way to set off the tone. We need to get the Knicks in rotation. It can leave us with somebody open. Robinson finds a wide open Bridges, lots of screens, and they get their three right back here. And pass out, gets intercepted, nobody's back, and Anunoby is going to get it all the way to the cup. Thomas sizing up on Bridges, finally gets a lane, and Schroeder gets a three and sticks it. I've been practicing jump shots, if you couldn't tell. I'm hitting a lot of them. Unfortunately, this game we are not hitting anything inside. Brunson's going to find Bridges off the screen, and long rebound goes over there. Anunoby puts up a three. That won't go. Ooh, Thomas makes a nice move and flushes it. Oh, nice play inside. Maybe we can go on a little run. Oh, Cam. Oh, that would have been huge if we could have stuck that three. Hard to get momentum in this type of a game for sure. I don't know what Schroeder's doing, just leaving Brunson wide open, but obviously doesn't work. Leads back up to 30. Bad play. Real bad play. Thomas trying to find his way inside and gets the layup and the foul. Cam Thomas putting on a show in this second half, really making up for that first half inefficiency. Can he complete the three-point play? He can. Just don't want to see anybody give up here. Brunson's driving on Schroeder, and that is just another play. Schroeder cannot get it done. We're going to try and bring in some of the bench, not the whole bench. I like Cam Thomas right now, how he's playing. We're going to try and throw that up, and Claxton gets another slam. I think we need size to guard Brunson. I'm going to see a lot of what Ben Simmons can do for that. We're going to try and get a little bit of, different matchups. I don't know why Towns passed up the wide open three, but if he doesn't want it, we don't need to have it. As Brunson gets open, clears some space, but that's no good. Ooh, interesting play there. Towns bites on the pump fake, and Johnson gets all the way to the hole. Bridges in the corner, guarded by Thomas. He's going to find Anunoby, who slings it over to Brunson. Brunson finds Bridges. Bridges around some screens. He's getting shifty. Bridges puts up the three and buries it. I mean, the Knicks just cannot miss. It is insane. And Cam Thomas is at least going to draw the foul there. Thomas, the first free throw is good. And the second is good as well. Substitutions come in. It's a 26-point game. Looking to see if we can't make a little bit of an effort here. Chip away, You're not going to get it all back in once. But, yeah, those are the types of plays you just can't have as Clowney fouls from behind. Sends Robinson to the line. He's not a great free throw shooter, but he drills the first one. Second one is up, and that is way off. We're going to get it up ahead to Cam Thomas. They kind of gave us the three there, but I didn't want it. Simmons guarded by Brunson. Real life Ben Simmons would never be this aggressive to draw a double team, but we get it to Cam Thomas in the corner. Bang! Just got to chip away. That's all we're trying to do here. As we almost give up a three right back, and then we let an offensive rebound happen, and they actually do get the three right back. Cam Thomas now going to get the screen from Clowney. He's going to knife inside and get the layup to go. Cam Thomas now on a little heater in this third quarter. Leads at 25. We're going to have to get this down at some point. We got to keep getting stops, keep playing hard D. Can't let these offensive rebounds keep happening. Anunoby guarded by Thomas. They swing to Towns, wide open three. Can't afford to just keep giving up wide open threes. You just can't. I mean, that's just not how the game works, unfortunately. And Thomas is going to force his way inside on Brunson and draw the foul. First free throw for Thomas is green. And the second free throw is off. Josh Hart now trying to make a play. Simmons leaves Brunson in the corner wide open. That time doesn't come back to bite us. All right, we got him on us. Yeah, we're going to town. Cam Thomas inside. Sneaks right by, fakes Mitchell Robinson, and gets yet another, too. Leads back to 25. Can't keep giving up threes. Gotta stay on him. Hart drives. I mean, oh my God. I don't know if I've ever seen Josh Hart dunk the ball like that. I'm not going to lie. Thomas. Inside. Clowney dunks it right on Brunson. Towns just goes right by Watford. But look who's there. Towns makes a fatal mistake, and Bogdanovich gets a slam on the break. Wow, Thomas clears, gets wide open, and sticks the three. Leads only at 22. Cam Thomas is on a heater. He's definitely tired, but he's kind of our entire offense right now. And Simmons, I mean, come on. That lazy defense alone makes me want to just take him right out of the game. Thomas again goes right at Towns. Loses his takeover, unfortunately, there, though. Wow. No centers even trying. Hart helps us out by taking the contested midi, but he still cashes in, and we're going to call a timeout. Full bench is going to come in. We'll see if Simmons can help us out any. Simmons and Clowney setting it up. Interesting play there. Brunson comes over and steals it. Guess we would have had Williams there. Hart gets blocked out of bounds, and it's going to remain Knicks ball. Brunson trying to get open. They find Bridges guarded by Williams over to Hart. Achua sets the screen. Hart around it. Slings inside. Nice feed. Achua finishes. We don't really have a lot of bench scoring. That's obvious. And Clowney is at least able to help. It's not like we're getting any scoring there from Ben Simmons. But Johnson makes another good play there. Simmons is distributing the ball well. He just finding guys as he finds Williams, who gets fouled. Zaire Williams. First one's early, but it goes in. Second shot is up. And that one goes as well. Brunson out of the game. This is where we got to capitalize. Payne guarded by Simmons. Wow, okay. Williams and Clowney working a two-man game here. Oh, Williams, I had the three. Definitely should have finished that there. McBride gets stolen inside. We reset. Johnson and Clowney running the pick and pop. Going to go inside for Clowney. He cannot finish. Achua grabs the rebound, and the Knicks clear out. Keon Johnson rolling inside. Back out Clowney. His three-pointer won't go at the buzzer, and it is a 28-point lead heading into the fourth. So far, the rivalry is not going as we intended. We're having a rough time with the Knicks. They are currently whooping the crap out of us, actually, as the lead gets back up to 31. Williams around the Wofford screen. Williams throws it up. Should have been better. And, yeah, that whole thing sucked. For whatever reason, Williams decides to go right at him. And one for Zaire Williams as he gives us some life. Schroeder, the first starter, coming back into the game for Simmons. And Williams gets the free throw to go. Schroeder guarding Payne. We gotta string stops together. This game's probably over, but I don't want to think so. But Jericho Sims keeps playing like that. It's definitely about to be. Schroeder and Clowney now running the two-man game, and Clowney slams it down. Oh, man. We just can't stop anything inside. It's a quick line drive. Schroeder around the Wofford screen. Throws it up. And Wofford comes and slams it home. I hate spamming the alley-oops, but it's what we got to do to score, so I'm not going to really have any remorse. McBride drives inside on Johnson. Puts it up, won't go. Schroeder and Wofford run the pick and fade here. Wofford tries to back down. They double, leaving Johnson open. Oh, that's Zaire Williams, my fault. But Zaire cans the three. We're at least putting up a fight offensively. I mean, defensively, we're getting slaughtered. Our defense clearly is barbecue chicken. Oh, my God. Yeah, okay. That one's over. This game's over. I'm going to stop pretending it's a close game. We're just going to have some fun now. We're going to try and get our own highlights. But, yeah, the game hates me. Schroeder around the Johnson screen. They're going to leave Cam Johnson. That's not wise, and he makes him pay. Cam Johnson pick and pop is one of my favorite plays to run in this game. I love it, and it's really effective. Johnson now guarding Hart. Hart trying to drive on him. Johnson all the way with him, but Hart is just on a heater tonight. I mean, if this is really what you want, you know what I mean? Like, you're asking for it. Claxton's just, yeah, gonna dunk right on your head, Bo. I mean, he's literally asking for it. It's a 33-point game. Payne dribbles right around Schroeder and gets the layup to go. Cam Payne still trying to make the action work. Hart screens him up, tries to bounce it inside, and Hart puts it in for 2. Wow, okay. That's nasty. Yeah, okay. Timeout. I don't care. It's 38-point lead. Game's over. At this point, we're just going to give the third stringers a chance. I guess Zaire Williams is theoretically one of those. It's mostly going to be Milton and Sharp, who is going to fail that alley-oop. Didn't realize Justice Winslow was on the Knicks. Maybe he's not, and they just signed him in the game. I have no idea. Hart now getting the screen. And Milton can't contest. Cam Payne drills it. I just simmed to the end of the game. I didn't want to deal with it. We end up losing 153 to 106, so that's awesome. Nobody in particular went off for him. Pretty much everybody that they wanted to get 20 got 20. Josh Hart especially was a crazy score for him. Cam Payne off the bench had his moments. We held Brunson to pretty inefficient numbers for his standard, but, I mean, we couldn't stop anybody. Couldn't stop a friggin' cone rolling down a hill. Cam Thomas had an okay game, although he really wasn't out there for too long, as we pretty much benched the starters after 3 quarters. We were getting whooped so bad. Cam Johnson had a good game, not too crazy, attempts with him. Tried to spread the ball around pretty well. Schroeder was the only one who didn't really do anything. Just couldn't shoot the 3-ball well. Zaire Williams definitely missed his fair share of opportunities. As we look at the team comparison, they just hit 50% from 3, basically, 60% from the floor. Didn't have a great game offensively, obviously, but you're not going to do much when your opponent puts up 153. Once again, the defense is a huge problem, but we gave up 15 offensive rebounds. That is also a huge problem. 21 turnovers, I think, is the biggest problem that we have, though. 4 come from Cam Johnson, 3 come from, Zaire Williams, 4 come from Ben Simmons. It's just everybody is pretty sloppy with the ball. Except for Cam Johnson, who did great, as per usual. 7 assists, 1 turnover, 24 efficient points. I'll take it. I'm loving him right now. Obviously, that doesn't put us in a great spot for the in-season tournament. Not that we really had a chance to win it, but I am going to sim us to the end of November. We are losing a lot of games. We do pick up a win against Philly. We actually go on a little bit of a streak, get to 7-13. First loss against New York was rough. Karl-Anthony Towns goes off. Bridges goes off again, as does Brunson. Cam Payne, just for whatever reason, hates us, I guess. Not a real great game from Cam Thomas. And turnovers are an issue again. Lose big to the Hornets. Cam Thomas does what he does, but LaMelo Ball, triple-double. Brandon Miller goes off. Yep, Joel Embiid gives us 42. We still win somehow. I guess Dennis Schroeder played well. Everybody else, what's that, 1, 2, 3, we have 7 people in double figures. That's pretty cool. Cam Thomas doesn't have a great night, but don't need him to win every time, apparently. Kings don't really do too well, and Cam Thomas responds. Great game by him offensively. And when we win against the Warriors, give up a lot by Andrew Wiggins. No Steph Curry. Another great Cam Thomas masterclass. Trendon Watford having some good minutes off the bench. We win another game, this time against Phoenix, and Cam Thomas, oh my God, he's just having quite a season, isn't he? Offense doesn't show up. Cam goes 5 for 24. One of his rough shooting nights. He definitely has those from time to time, but he doesn't stop shooting the ball, and that's what I love about him. He has his highs and lows, but he's quite a player for us. Not really shooting the 3-ball super efficiently well. That's the part that's kind of peculiar to me. Really would think that he would shoot the 3-ball a lot better, but he's someone we want to keep around. Definitely one of the best pieces of our offense, somebody that can just generate points, something we desperately need for our second unit. Everybody else, honestly, guys that could probably get moved at the deadline, that's not going to be in the next episode, probably episode or 2 after that. We're also going to look at the big men. So if you're looking forward to any of that, all of that, that'll all be down the line. If you are still sticking around, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.